Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to the Turing effect. So it's been a couple days since it's not called the Turing effect, it's called the Turing Test. Yeah, it's been a couple days. I feel like since every time you enter one of these puzzles, and these puzzles are super short and pretty easy so far, since every time you enter a puzzle you have conversations that just kind of reminds you about the idea of the Turing test and the general concept that the people in charge of this moon base have set up this world to stop Tom, the AI, from being able to access them, in which one assumes that he poses some kind of threat to them. And Tom certainly isn't doing anything to curtail that story and make himself look like he's the good guy. Uh, Nor does he make himself feel like he's particularly smart. But since you get that recap every 5 minutes or so, uh, taking a break between each puzzle might work. But I don't know if this game has enough of staying power to really make people want to come back and play. We also found out that this streaming load was not enabled, so we were looking at loading screens, so it'll be interesting to see what happens when we get to like here. So here we have a pink energy ball that is collectible, and we're in a different room.
Ava, I do not want to force your hand. But what do you remember of the ground team?
They're good people.
Sarah?
The hardest working woman I've ever met.
Right. Do you see them as the rebellious type?
They didn't strike me as rebellious. If they've taken down parts of your system, they must have their reasons.
So yeah, even now we have Tom kind of questioning it as we go into the side puzzle. Right. This lighting looks different from what we've been seeing before. It's very more bluish. That's weird. Here we have a powered door. We've been seeing more of these orangish lights. Seems weird that they would bother to have two of the same visual aspects like that. So here's a puzzle that seems kind of obviously designed around the idea of doing things differently and falling down. And the general idea here is that Tom just would not be able to figure out some basic concepts here, like the idea that these boxes have weight. Well, let's see, if we put this down here and then we run through here, then it would have run down the stairs. And this door doesn't quite feel like it has a solution. Yeah, I don't know if you can actually get through this door over here. If there's some kind of power control. And this got us into here, and it takes our gun down. And here we have...
Are you alright?
I'm perfectly well. I'm going to live forever, don't you know?
If you will allow me, I would like to congratulate you on your good work.
What are you talking about?
Securing the organism, keeping Earth safe.
We're not made to live forever, Tom. Especially not here.
Why do you say that?
We find the cure for death, and now we're immortal. Immortal and alone. I can't live here forever. On some freezing backwater moon. Feeding off vegetables grown in my own feces. Starving. Endlessly young, a wasted life. Live forever.
Daniel, I am sorry that you cannot go home. The ISA are wondering what to do with Ava.
What do you mean?
She is still on the Fortuna. Do we send her home? Or do we send her a sample of the organism?
I could pilot a sample to the Fortuna.
You would have to travel back to Europa, Daniel. You couldn't board the Fortuna. The risk of back contamination is too large. Ava would have to bring the sample back to Earth.
Could you allow a ship out?
I am not able to do that.
Executive override. Daniel Joseph McLean.
Okay. But only for you, Daniel. The rest of the crew cannot know about this.
Say I've gone missing.
I am afraid I can't lie.
It's not a lie.
So, no subtitles there, and apparently the organism they found made them live forever, which does kind of imply that we are potentially hundreds of years in the future since the point when these people started barricading the inside. They said it had been 400 hours, I believe was the amount of time that Tom said it had been. I feel like that is a lie. I feel like it's been hundreds of years, and these people have been alive and yet isolated, quarantined from the rest of the humans on Earth, that they've been left. Here we have a sound music changer. Plays different audio based on when you pick it up. Here we have a screen that doesn't seem to react. And here we have a screen that doesn't seem to react. And here we have some more audio logs.
You call. How's progress?
Again, no subtitles. Let's actually, while we're here, this has been a consistent problem though. Let's leave this down here, and wow, it seems to bump up with the controller every time I knock it. And why are we down to 19%? It was going in 5% increments every time I touched it until you get to a certain point, and then it glitches. It's a nice little 20% audio on the music. And now let's listen.
You call. How's progress? Very good. You've exposed several organisms to organism 119.
That didn't seem to do anything. Let's see. It didn't save. Yeah. This feels buggy. Okay, back. And then you have to hit apply for no good reason.
We found out what it does.
It has had miraculous results.
Go on.
We've infected fruit flies and some plants, and they've not aged at all. The organism seems to be repairing them and stop biological aging processes. We don't know how yet.
You must be repairing the DNA like some rejuvenation power. Are you? Sure.
I'm sure these plants should have died 2 weeks ago.
I don't like that the screen is
don't know
weaving
how
in
to
and
react.
out. Like, also. And the audio did not get quieter. So let's just turn off that. It probably is not even labeled as a music source. It's probably labeled as a sound effect source.
Michelle, can you keep a secret? Of course. Turn off your radio.
I think I'm pregnant.
How?
Chris,
You won't be able to have a child here.
keep your voice down.
Sarah, you won't go full term here.
Don't you think I know that?
The microgravity, the environment. There's not enough food or water. How would you survive? I need to get rid of it.
I don't want to it.
This is a weird extra twist.
We could shut down the communication array. Just for a couple of hours.
So, a potentially immortal baby that never ages, a potential eternal pregnancy. Yeah, you kind of don't know how immortal these people are, that if they never age. But that certainly would at least be a new twist on it and give more of a reason why the humans are doing the things that they're doing. But it still doesn't really feel like they're the bad guys. Feels like maybe, just maybe, they've been infected by an organism that's changing their mindset, but we've yet to kind of see that, really. We've seen zero evidence that there's any kind of intelligent alien control being exerted on the humans.
That's a hand. And there's the feet. It's not going to make it, Sarah. I'm sorry. Gravity is too low here. It's not going to develop properly. I'm so sorry.
So apparently the baby just didn't develop, but it might be an immortal mass of flesh regardless, mass of cells. It would have been probably helpful storyline writing to have some kind of weird alien static noise playing throughout the base here. Something that could have been revealed later on as being just like garbled audio noise and not really an alien language. That way at least you could bring up that red herring. This game has a shocking lack of red herrings, which you kind of need for such, even though this is a short game, it's a long enough story that's being told here for it to be so blatant and on the nose. And yeah, this still really sucks that there's no subtitles. It makes me feel like these audio logs were added at the very last second, or maybe even added after the game was originally released. But clearly Square Enix did not want to give them more funding to finish this properly.
I can't take it anymore.
This would probably be less than $1,000 to add the subtitles.
Get up!
Because, like, some writer already wrote these lines of dialogue. And so the text is written. It would be basically just a copy and paste thing. I'm gonna turn this on to see if maybe that opens this door. I wish you could hold this, but it doesn't seem like you can. So I don't know if that audio is really just supposed to be an indicator of I don't know if the audio is supposed to be an indicator of something else. We can go back down here. We don't need to really get into that area. We can go back up here and still see that that is not enabled. We can see that the box fell down the stairs. And so unless taking this box off this platform changes something, I don't think there's anything that opens this door. So yeah, it does kind of make it feel like there's a secondary path in this whole game where we will just start coming through doors like that. That's some interesting reflections. We can do a long jump. And we can't move until we get rid of this energy ball. So, yeah. A miscarriage story is not a terrible addition. So this, we learned already, were timers. So you have to have just enough energy to fill these capacitors or keep them powered long enough to switch. So since green and purple, and I would assume that this is a fairly decent game to play even if you were colorblind. It doesn't seem like that would play much of a role, because even if you couldn't tell that these were the different colors, they always flicker at different frequencies, and because these alternate, the game could get more complicated if they were on like a three-phase system in which each one flicked off for 2/3 of the time and only flicked on for 1/3 of the time. Tom wasn't wrong. There really would be a very logical solution to this game if they simply bothered to just have us jump through windows. Like the windows are clearly big enough that you could just sit down on the edge and swing over. Alright. So the trick here is to do this, I guess. Interesting. I've got the right solution, and yet, unless I'm supposed to just do that, I don't have the right solution. Back this way, there's nothing, and no energy balls can make it through these restricted areas. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's just not on long enough. And this color doesn't seem to change much. And this color seems to be blue all the time. And over on this puzzle, it seems like there's kind of... Why did it do that? That immediately closes the door. That immediately closes the door. That immediately closes the door. Yeah, that gives you half a second. So, when the green lights up, I guess we suck in the thing and run through the door. Which does kind of require you to have quite the angle here to do that. To get through there. So the puzzles are getting more complicated.
What do these tests tell you, Ava?
That this is a test?
No, this is a lock. This is a lock that only a human can open. The crew is trying to keep me out, but you are the key, Ava.
Yes, but the question to better ask is there a valid reason to keep me out? And is Tom just using me as a tool to get around the lock? We have this, which is a negator, which seems to activate something. I'm not even sure what. Let's see, let's go. There's a wall over here. Okay. And on the wall, there's a power box, which we can't just suck the energy out of. So, I guess what this is you were supposed to figure this part out. And just go ahead and drop that. And we'll see what this now activates. That deactivates the portal itself. Okay. So I think we kind of understand what we're doing, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm guessing what happens is we put this here, and then that closes the door on us, yeah. So, put that down, bring this back to right about there. I don't know the real benefit of having the section blocked. That seems a little unnecessary to have this guardrail, but whatever. I managed to work my way through that. That should have dropped the thing on the switch, which should open this door. Even if the computer wasn't able to think of these solutions, he probably should be able to be smart enough to extrapolate data, and once he saw me solve one of these puzzles, he should be able to have solved a lot of the others.
I'm a little bit worried about you, Tom. Can you give me a diagnostic of your systems?
I am fine.
It's like late in the
must
game
get to
to
the
ask that
Rydo.
question.
I have something to show you.
It is really, really late in the game to be talking about that. Okay. That's one. Let's see if we can move this over there and get to that. Nope. So unless I had a great like 180 spin turn that would let me change complete directions, I don't think I can quite get where I want to go. Although this probably will work fine, and very possibly there is some reason or logic behind doing it this way. So we'll go ahead and place that back. And then we'll go ahead and shift this to be right about there. which I think means we should have left that there. Games like this probably suffer a decent amount from people who've played Portal 1 and Portal 2. Even though we are doing different things here, it is kind of all the same level of thinking. Here we've got
We must work together
something
as
new.
allies, friends.
Okay.
Yeah, little bits of dialogue, like that one sentence. Why have that one sentence happen between now instead of just as a continued line of dialogue in the previous conversation? Like that would make more sense, frankly, to have the previous conversation. Well, what moves the flipper? Where's the controller? Where's the lever? I mean, I can't stand in front of these and block them. Okay. I see where it is. Okay. So yeah, I figured it out. You come over here and take this one, then you take this one, then you place that one. Okay. Now, then you just walk through there. So yeah, why have one line of dialogue instead of just having a couple puzzles where it's mostly silence to have some falling action?
This is the voice of Sarah Brooke, acting commander of the Europa mission. I know you can hear me, Ava. I counsel you caution. Your presence here is much like your AI friend. Engineered.
She is alive. Ava, Sarah. Sarah's dangerous. Please exercise caution.
So here we have a suspicious response by Tom that why wouldn't she be alive if it's been only 400 hours? And why this immediate claim that Sarah's dangerous? Why is Tom so dumb, though, to not lay the seeds of that idea earlier on? And why is it taking us so long to get to the point where a human even starts to talk to us? It feels like there should have been some kind of foreshadowing video that Tom could have edited out, or an audio log that Tom could have edited of the people calling for help, because it would have been super easy. It looks like, yeah, we may have 70 puzzles here, and we're on about 40 of them, assuming there's 10 in each row, which looks to be about right. But yeah, it would have been really easy for a audio log to be made that said something like, danger, do not come to the surface, do not send help, do not attempt to save us. And then Tom could have removed the part after danger with the do not, where it would have been just danger, come to the surface, help, save us. Like, simple writing there. All you have to do is take the do not parts out and edit the audio log. Just put in some gibberish, broken up audio into it, just some noise, and then you would have had the humans talking directly to you a lot earlier, or at least it seemed like the humans are talking to you a lot earlier, instead of us just hearing these audio logs that are mostly in the extra sections, which we're probably not supposed to have been able to reach all of those. There's a big feeling here that they think people playing this game are going to be a little bit dumber than I am, I guess, in the sense that clearly those restricted sections aren't supposed to be doable by all players. And I think anyone who likes 3D platforming puzzles, anybody that would like games like Portal, probably could have solved those puzzles pretty easily. Like, I have yet to really be stumped by any puzzle in this game. That they are fairly easy. There's been a couple in the last couple of puzzles in the main story that did require thinking of something new, but that's pretty much it. Yeah, says we are at Sector 40, Chapter 4, and it seems like there might be 70, although at any point we could stop doing the puzzles, and it would be kind of weird if we had to run through all 40 of the previous puzzles and do them a different way. A lot of these puzzles do feel like they're very iterative on themselves anyway, so they're just adding one new twist or changing things. It also seems weird why Sarah would not specifically just come out and try and talk to you directly, like one way or another. Just saying that your presence here has been engineered, no duh. On the face of it, that's true. Obviously, Tom woke me up from cryostasis, regardless of how many, whether it's been 400 hours or 400 years since the people on the base have been abandoned onto the surface of this moon. But yeah, obviously, that was Tom's doing. He engineered me coming down here. He engineered the idea that I need to reach the inside. Although there's not really much of an option when you think about it. I mean, either you do these puzzles or you starve to death because the door's locked behind you and there's no like exit option per se. And that's the construction of the game and the construction of these puzzle rooms. It still feels very possible that the character we're playing on as is a robot. They've hinted at that in the extra sections. Or she's some kind of clone, or she's some kind of brainwashed character. We did hear Tom ask about your memories of the characters from before, which might have been a test of just how well he encoded false memories into you. But the conversation really didn't go any further than that. Maybe now that we have Sarah involved in the mix, we'll have Sarah saying one thing and Tom saying another thing, and you'll have to decide who you want to trust. Although I don't know why you wouldn't have more of that throughout the entirety of the game. It's been such a slow build up to this point, and it really, by having such a slow build up, really only establishes a love or hate for puzzles depending on the player. Either they've learned to love doing these puzzles, or they've learned to hate doing them because they are short and simplistic, or maybe in a small percentage of players they're too difficult and people don't like doing puzzles. Although I would say by the time you got to puzzle 40, if you were not enjoying doing the puzzles, there's no game here for you. You should have just refunded several hours before. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and get me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.